This is a brief instructional to help you get started when it's time for your CT or your university supervisor to do an observation. It's important for you as a student teacher to realize that all observations are initiated by you, the candidate, when you upload your lesson plan into Chalk and Wire. I know that Chalk and Wire can be a little bit daunting, so I'm going to show you how to go about uploading a lesson plan. When you log into Chalk and Wire and you're on your dashboard, you'll want to go over to the menu in the upper left, click on it, select Work, and then My Coursework. I'm assuming at this point that you have set up a non-EdTPA portfolio in Chalk and Wire. If you haven't, there are instructions on how to do so on your dashboard, or you can ask one of us. When you're setting up your portfolio, you will be prompted to select a department, chemistry, biology, or physics, and you will be prompted to name your non-EdTPA portfolio. My test portfolio, I'm going to pull it up, and when you select your portfolio, whatever you've named it, you will get the table of contents. Make sure that you have selected the correct table of contents. Your discipline should be listed, whether you're in the MAT or BS program, and the correct date should be listed. Once you're on your table of contents, scroll on down to where it says Field Experience First Semester. Continue to scroll then to Classroom Observations, and let's say, since I've already used up Observation 1 for the CT and all my playing around, let's say your CT is getting ready to do Observation 2. Select that. The instructions will tell you to upload your lesson plan. To do so, you first select Add Content. From the drop-down menu, Add File. Go down to the bottom of the page, Insert Content, and you will see you can now upload your lesson plan. I'm going to select Add File and find the lesson plan I have on my desktop. And then I'm going to say Start Uploading. What this does is it puts your lesson plan into your Chalk and Wire library. See, Save to File Library. It does not, however, associate your lesson plan with the correct assignment, which in this case is CT Observation number 2. To do that, you need to come up here and select Import Content. Before we do that, I want to point out to you that this Submit button is grayed out with a line through it. That Submit button will not become active until you have imported or uploaded your lesson plan and imported it into the correct assignment in your table of contents. So I'm going to select Import Content. We're importing to our portfolio. Select the portfolio, whatever you have named it. Then press Import. Oops, I left off a page. It prompts you, please choose a page. So you have to select the correct assignment. So this is the CT Observation 2. There we go. And now I select Import. Okay, so now return to the assignment, and you'll notice the Submit button is now activated. It's green and that line through it is gone. You must click on the Submit button for it to go, for the assignment to go to your CT or supervisor, who's ever doing the observation. You can ignore the top part. That's just for the turn it in thing. All right, so this is where it gets a little, you have to be really careful here. If it is your CT doing an observation, their name is not already in Chalk and Wire. They are called an external assessor, and you must select Add Guest to get this to them. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And so I'm going to make up a name. That probably was not appropriate. Okay. I'm going to put in my personal email so I don't confuse them with my real email. You don't need to put in their address and all that, okay? Just their name or whatever you call them, and make sure their email address is correct, because Chalk and Wire will then send them an email with all the information and a link that they need to fill out the rubric for you. All right, there we go. So this tells you that you have successfully added your CT to Chalk and Wire as a guest. Click on Submit. Anytime you see a Submit button, click on it, okay? All right, congratulations. You have now submitted second observation to your CT. You can review it if you want, but you're done here. I want to show you for a minute what your CT can expect to get immediately in their email. You must warn them to check their spam folder. That's usually where these Chalk and Wire emails end up, at least for me. I'm not sure why that is. Okay, so they'll get an email that looks like this. Dear so-and-so, Kennesaw student has submitted work for you to access. Here's a quick start if you really want to know more than you ever wanted to know about Chalk and Wire, but really this is a link. Go to Chalk and Wire as a direct link that will take them to your uploaded lesson plan, and it will have a rubric for them with 4 criteria to fill out on your lesson plan. Those 4 proficiencies that you will be assessed on based on your lesson plan look like this. You may already be familiar with them. They're part of the CAPS proficiencies. But let's see, Standard 2, Instructional Planning, how well your plans are aligned with standards. There's no specific template you need to use for your lesson plan unless your CT or supervisor asks you to use a specific one. But you do want to make sure that the 4 proficiencies you're rated on are covered in your lesson plan. So standards, differentiated instruction. So you may have somebody with a 504 plan or an IEP, but even if you don't, you should differentiate your instruction and your lesson plan to accommodate learners at different levels of mastery. The last 2 proficiencies you will be assessed on from your lesson plan is your assessment strategies, whether they be formative, which they usually are, or cumulative. And final, what you will do with the formative assessment data that you collect from this lesson plan. How will you use that to either provide feedback to your students or adjust future lessons? That's it for this. Let me know if you have any other questions.